Welcome you all to Iced Coffee Time with Mads Uncensored. So, to start this is my first new YouTube channel for all you middle-aged women or all of you women who are exploring yourself sexually and just want a place in a community to connect around that. I actually have a professional side of me under Madison Christine. I am a therapist. I do help people heal from sexual trauma, religious abuse, power abuse, and anything I help you on, I've been through. I am 49 years old. I have just come out as gay in the last about 4 months. I was bisexual for several years, but my main relationships were with men. So you can imagine that there's the complexity, right? As midlife women, and we're going through all this different stuff, our hormones, everything. And I have freed myself from very deep abuse as a pastor's kid, coming from religion, being so repressed. It's been layer after layer for me to get to this miraculous yet really hard-earned space of freeing myself. So I want you all to know, no matter where you are, no matter how terrified you are, no matter how repressed and hidden you are in your sexuality, in your life, you can get out and hold on. Okay, so if you're in a place where my YouTubes might even be very triggering for someone who's really in the trauma. So the place to meet me, and I'm not plugging in for my business, honestly, but I care so much about that people know there's a place. So it's madisonchristine.net. That'll be below in the description. You can get on my website, and I actually do offer sessions. My main reason, though, for this YouTube channel is, again, it's called Mads Uncensored. And it's a place for those of you that are in that place where you're feeling more freed up, or maybe you never had issues in your history around that, and you just want a fucking place to go because we've been so isolated in this pandemic and what's going on in the world. And maybe you're someone like me where you're just out and you want like a support place to go, laugh, cry, whatever it is. Let's talk about it. And again, I may say the wrong shit when it comes to however I refer to gay stuff because I'm new as well, though I'm surrounding myself and have dear people close to me that are gay, and I've been curious about it for a long time, but to come out's a different experience. And so I'm going to share a bit about myself. I have shared myself in my other professional YouTubes, but most of those are geared towards ways to heal from trauma, etc. And again, this YouTube is to talk about the coming out, the sexuality, and have fun. It might be juicy, maybe offensive. Just turn it off. So this is for the people that are really into this uncensored experience. And when I say uncensored, I'm not saying uncensored and fucking rude and mean and disrespectful. Not at all. But it's our birthright to really connect to our life force and fully free ourselves and be who we are. And our life force is our sexuality. This is what I'm discovering through experience. Years, you guys. I started at 19. It took me till 49 to truly come out. That's just what it took to feel safe enough. And to me, it's a miracle, honestly, to be here. So I really want to offer that to you and open up the permission. Sometimes that's all we need. So I want to share this first. So I have, like I said, mostly been in straight relationships, and my female relationships were actually not really like full-on relationships, but they were this slow, hot, flaming, like I have a pattern where like for 2 years it'd be this more intellectual, emotional foreplay, but we tend to attract people where we're at, right? So I would attract these women who are also like right there on the cusp like I was, but just still repressed and terrified of it. And so the sex never happened in those, and but it was like it, and then the fantasy would just be really intense and holy fucking intense. And before that, it wasn't until like I was maybe my early 30s that I was really, where I was with some guys, I was really truly asexual. I was dealing with my trauma head on so deeply. Excuse me, just a second. That I just wasn't able to be present sexually. I was dealing with so much pain around it. By the way, if you are in trauma, and I will insert some of this part of myself because it's important, that's to be expected. And it's really important to have a therapist or someone to be walking through that, and it will change and shift. And you may still at the end of all that realize that you're just whatever you are, but at least you'll be free in it and not feeling controlled by this fear, this trauma. So once I hit my beginning of 30s, I was like, okay, things started awakening in me. So that being said, I do want to also give a framework that I was in a relationship for 7 years with this guy. This is my most recent, just to bring you up to date to me. I was in New Mexico, a clinical therapist there. And then I uprooted with him and we moved out here to Tampa, Florida. And I was engaged in a relationship that was really emotionally abusive, really, really intense. And I just wasn't ready to own up to giving myself the respect I deserved until I chose to break up on our way out here, uprooting from New Mexico, uprooting from where my sisters were closer, and the water called. So here I am, still in the same apartment with this person. Thankfully, that whole part has been a positive experience coming out, and I'm just done with abuse. I'm done, whether it was male or female, done with the games. So I come to you all very free and very excited to share this journey with you. And I always know that if I'm feeling this impulse and I'm honoring it, that someone out there needs to hear this, and maybe someone out there is going through a similar situation. Have you come from abuse, sexual trauma, religious abuse, whatever it is, and you just need a place to feel seen and heard? May this be a safe place for you, and a place where you want to be free and talk the shit, talk the sexy shit, right? Make it a place where it's safe and fun and free, all right? So that's what this is for, because here's the deal. I was like thinking, well, how do I mingle with the gays, and the whole concept of going to a bar was just like, okay, it sounded fun fantasy-wise, but then it's like, wait, okay, so it's different, you guys, when you're 49. It's different, at least for me. I never really wanted to meet many people in the bars because it involves alcohol and it usually shifts the energy and can create a lot of drama, and it's not my deal. I'm someone who really wants monogamy. I've always been that way. I'm attracted to depth, to soul, of course, chemistry. I tend to be attracted to the more masculine. It doesn't have to be that way though if the energy connects, right? I speak energy a lot because I feel like that's where that truth is. Words are something, but what's the body saying, right? So I'm definitely not the person who's attracted to the tits and ass. Like, that's not what I'm hot over. But if I'm with a person I love, of course, that changes the chemistry of that. So it was male or female. I mean, I never understood that personally. I intellectually get it for people, but that's just not my deal. There's probably a word out there for that, right? So what's your deal? And by the way, just because it's not my deal, I'm not judging your deal. So I'm an in-depth person as a therapist. I love Carl Jung. I love in-depth therapy, dream work, understanding the unconscious and conscious. So that stuff turns me on. And I love people that want to go deep, that want to hang at a table and talk about this shit and also laugh at funny shit. All of it. So, and I love coffee. I was a barista for years. I am a musician, and I'm totally telling you about me. The uncensored version of Madison, okay? I have a twin sister. We were in a band in Portland. Holy fucking shit. One of the best things ever in my life, besides serving coffee and having amazing conversations with people and just stirring up the pot with truth, right? So who are you, and where are you at? And where are you at in your life, in your history, and how's that affecting you today? And what do you want to talk about? Let's get some juicy conversation going. Let me tell you this. So lately, instead of going to the bar, because I just, like, if I have a good friend that I feel safe with, and then we go, that's different. So this is kind of like, I guess I'm creating the safe gay bar scenario, safe coffee bar scenario, okay? Have I mentioned I love the L word? Like, I watched it so many times. I'm so gay. I am realizing how gay I am. I've been watching different YouTubers. One of my favorite right now, besides Mac and Jemmy, who is this wonderful, emotionally intelligent, like 22, young but very old soul, pretty much gone viral. Elena Joy. Through them, I discovered Ashley Gavin, this comedian that just fucking hilarious. Like, some people may find offensive, I find so refreshing. She's just so sexually open, and she's just hysterical, and the most caring heart, down deep and vulnerable, and yet, oh my God, she can just rip some direct ones. So super freeing for me, and I want to create that space for you guys. So gosh, what else to tell you? Let's just talk. Let's just keep this going. My email, I'll put down it below. And again, if you're someone needing more help on the therapeutic side, my website, I'll put that down below as well, MadisonChristine.net. Like I said, these YouTubes are intended for the uncensored parts. And thanks y'all for listening. I'll meet y'all on the flip.